All right, correct 36 here. I'm trying to make sure my Zoom meeting is sharing the 42. And all right, there we go. Okay. So this is the 42 setup. Um, I'm going to check real quick to make sure I'm showing you the right thing. Round one. Okay. But I could show you the wrong thing. Let's see here. Okay, nope. Okay, I'm showing you the 42 setup, and I'm going to do a little flyover of the Japanese position. Uh, should be showing Java right now. In the, yes. All right. Sorry, it's a little confusing. Okay, so here's the situation. I want to emphasize that these are tournament rules, and the tournament rules are uh, for the tournaments at Gen Con, and those are located at the Shmori Swamp, which is right here. And I'm going to share that with you because I know you're not seeing what I'm seeing, which is right here. Okay, this is the Shmori Swamp coming up. This is Gen Con rules, and this is the AA rules page. And this is for global 42 tournament rules. Oops. Okay. Now, let it play. Nope, 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 nope. That's wrong. That's wrong. Sorry. This is 42 tournament setup chart. This is the setup charts. And this is a little, notice a different turn order right here. I think you're seeing that. Let me just check and make sure you're seeing that. You are not seeing that. Okay. Let me do that again. Screen sharing. Let me go over here. Let's do screen sharing, full screen. And that should be showing right here. And I'm just going to confirm that I'm showing you the Shmori Swamp stuff. Hmm. Oh, okay. There it is. Okay, we're good. We're reconciled here. All right, so this is the global 42 rule set. Here's the different turn order and much shorter game. Far fewer pieces. Rules for going to war with neutrals. I didn't realize there were different rules. Um, no major neutral powers. I'm not sure what that means. No major nuclear neutral powers. Okay. Anyways, all powers at war. Soviet Union and the US may attack anyone. 8 victory cities for Europe, six victory cities Pacific, or controlling. Here's a big one. Um, Allies win by controlling all three capitals for the end of a complete round of play. And control at least one allied capital. But here's the big one right here. This is the significant one I want to tell Schultze and tell everyone who looks at this and goes, how can the Axis win? You only have to have 125 IPCs to win. That's all. Now, there's no game round limit, but a minimum of 7 rounds of play is strongly encouraged. If there's ample time for the official game clock to play another game round, by all means play. But there has to be enough time on the clock before 8:45 to play a whole game round. Here's the setup. I don't actually know. Created by Larry Efforts right here. And Kevin Chapman, G42. This little read. I don't know what no major neutrals are. There will be no major neutral powers. Okay, I can look that up later. I'll post that later on. All right, let's get to the game. Okay, so I'm going to try to act like I'm in a hurry in this game. This is the setup for the Japanese. Like I said, it is a lot fewer pieces. Its neck is kind of stuck out, and there's plenty of U.S. forces on the board. All right, let's see what Schultze did. I'm going to X out of this. I'm going to X out of that. I'm going to X out of this. And this. Let's get to it. Okay, here's what Schultze ended up with. So I did notice that you had, I think, an extra transport. So we're just going to include that. Your transport in 20 wasn't actually there. So we're going to include that in your bid. And I know you got an extra um, artillery in Quincy, I think. So we're just going to put an extra transport in, and you took Celebes with that. So that would not normally be there. But $61 as far as I can tell. All right, Americans, we are going to start the clock at 6:45. I'm going to put it on my phone timer as starting the game round. Ready, set, go. All right. This is played with tech, and I'm going to buy tech dice. 5. Get that going. I rolled a miss. I'm hoping that's still there. Check, but I can't do that right now. Without looking at the map too much, I know that he purchased 3 destroyers, so I need to purchase at least 3, and I'm going to go with that for the Pacific and a sub. Let's see what we have for the Atlantic. Okay, Atlantic Navy looks fine. I do have a destroyer. The Germans haven't gone yet, only the Japanese. So is there anything I can do to frustrate the Germans? Now, I do see here that I have a scramble off of 2 fighters, but if those two hits, I would get a hit. I would get a loss because I would have to take the destroyer. So I'm going to put in a cruiser, believe it or not. No, I'm going to put in another destroyer. And I am going to, I think I've got plenty of infantry in this game. Yep, plenty of infantry. So no need for infantry. I will save the rest or reconsider. I will. I'm going to put another plane on that, actually. Let's just get that beefed up. Okay, that's it. 1 minute, 45 seconds for that purchase. Politics. There's no politics to do. Okay, so I am going to. Okay, so obviously the easy kill would be that. I might even be able to go in here and actually attack this plane and kill those units for a recapture of the New Britain. But I am not too worried about that. Okay, so I'm going to. All right, he knows I like to go to C Zone 7. It's a pretty strong force for me ending up in C Zone 7. So I'm going to cough right now, real quick. Sorry. Okay, not comfortable with anything here. So we will go for the 3-plane scramble out of Queensland and move a large force down there. Blocker in Midway. That'll at least get me on the front lines. I want to be in the front lines, but I do not want to be in a trench warfare situation with the Japanese Navy until I can win it. Okay, so that's what we'll do. And we'll send two subs down to kill that cruiser. Easy enough on that. They can make it back. Nothing else in the battle. Aircraft carrier destroyer down. If he wants to attack that, that would be tough for him. Bow. Okay, I can't do that right now. I'll have to do that in a non-combat. There's no transport here. So do I need Wake back is the question. Okay, pressure. Okay, we're going to take the infantry and artillery. And we're going to go out to Hawaii. And just send the fighters. Put one of those there. Okay, so I am good, I think. Bomber. We're fairly even with the 3-plane scramble. I'm going to put one of these up here. Could he do a pure air attack on that? Yes. Doesn't look good from my perspective. Just to mess him up a little bit, I will put a fighter out in Midway. It complicates the situation with Midway unless he wants to bring his whole Air Force out. And that'll dump one of those. No. And then I'll bring the diver out to land on the aircraft carrier. And then I've got the full contingent. All right, the rest goes east. Okay, so he is in. I'm going to send a blocking destroyer out, I think. Bombers that can reach. Italian bomber and destroyer. Nope, not destroyer. Italian subs. 92 looks like it needs a airbase. I would be able to have a destroyer. 3 destroyers is what I'm seeing to protect 91. I would love to activate Brazil, though. All right, let's look at killing those subs instead. Fighter, bomber, other bomber. Let's kill those subs. And that leaves us with only 2 destroyers to protect 3 transports. Unless I put an airbase there. All right, let's take tank and let's fill it up. All right, we're gonna try something I've tried before, which is oops, nope, not there. I've only played this once before, maybe twice. Okay, so I'm gonna take one here. The bombers can reach, amazing. So I got to check. One, no airbase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Okay, that'll go there, and then this will activate Brazil, and we'll just ferry some troops over. All right, I think that's the only combat I have. Are any of those vulnerable if I fail my attack? No. All right, let's do that. I think I have a combat here. Do not want the aircraft involved. Let's go. Yes. All right, they're done. Oh, 2 hits. There's my luck come roaring back. The machine hates me. All right. Let's get him. Remain. Got him. Battle's over. So that was a sub round. Okay, good. I'm going to put this down here for the 3-plane scramble, and I'm going to put this up here for that aircraft carrier that I built, although I think it's fully stocked. Okay, and we'll go active units. They're good. Let's carry on if we can to England. And then I'm gonna put the aircraft carrier on this side, actually. I think. Let me just check what I bought again. Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. I think that's fairly good. No. Nope. Let's not do that. All right. I gotta go back to this is such a bad spot for the aircraft. I'm gonna have to put it on the aircraft carrier. Good. I'm thinking good. All right. We're done. It's 10 minutes uh movement and movement phase. All right. American turn. Okay, and I'll drop that there, and then I'll drop 2 aircraft on the West Coast. No, I'm only dropping the destroyer there, actually. Yes, I'll drop 1 aircraft. No, I'm putting in 2. If he put 2 on the board, I'm putting 2 on the board in the Pacific. All right, there we go. It's 11 minutes, 16 second turn, $71. The Chinese. Okay, the Chinese are gonna Chinese are going to evade. Let's let's give him something to do. He cannot resist hitting Chinese units, so we will give him something to do. And I'll move this up here. Shanxi. And that's it. I'm gonna put him here. I want him over here. I'd much rather his main land force be in Sichuan out of position. All right, so let's do a recap. $8 is what the Chinese earned. Infantry in Suyuan, Shanxi, Hopai, and Quichao with 5 infantry in Sichuan. The Americans, 2 bombers in England. I did not do that. Two tank and a mech will be a tank and an infantry will be in French West Africa. And then that will be activated. It's all $2 more. This will be 4 infantry and 1 mech in Brazil with in C-Zone 86 is the transport. Carrier and fighter in 101, infantry, artillery, mech, and anti-aircraft in East United States. Destroyer in 10, 2 fighters, 3 infantry, 1 mech, 1 tank, and 1 anti-aircraft in Western. Infantry in Alaska. Destroyer in 26 with an infantry and a fighter on Midway. 3 infantry, 1 artillery, and 3 fighters and 1 diver on Hawaii. Battleship, cruiser, destroyer, sub, aircraft carrier, fighter, diver in 26. 2 subs and 49. 4 infantry, 1 artillery in Solomon. 1 American fighter in Queensland. That may or may not be it. Excuse me. All right. That is 13 minutes, 52 seconds. Clock it out. Okay, I'm going to stop the clock actually and just do the revisions. This is a interesting game. I mean, it's with the victory stands at 125. It's pretty low bar for the Axis. So if you can get your head around that instead of, you know, worrying about you have to erase all this. Instead of worrying about, I got the wrong spot. Instead of worrying about a global victory, that's what you're looking for. You're looking to last. So it's actually that's a pretty different standard. So you are going to see a very robust allied game, but you're looking to survive and just tip it. So you're not looking to, get the Napoleonic win. And in fact, of course, in 7 rounds of play with this setup, I think it's pretty unlikely you're going to see a success in Moscow. This is 4 and 1 mech, I think. That might have been. I think that was a mech. American. And then these guys are eliminated. And then PC. So, anyways, that's you know, and so the other part of that is, can you theoretically can you play this as a long game without the time restraints? My supposition would be probably that you couldn't. That it's really necessary to have the long game. So, all right. So I did not do my time limit for the first one. Um, Now, when you're playing, a lot of times when they're taking their turn, you're preparing your purchases. So it really should be they're done with their turn and boom, your purchases go down. an almost 0 clock for your purchases. So be aware of that. But that was 13 minutes. I'll write that in the comment log. Maybe I'll kind of redo my turn one and see how long I took. Or I could just add what's in the YouTube video when I start it. That's what I'll probably do. And then I'm just going to try to hurry up. I'll study what I studied before my game round and then just zoom it. So I think I said 13 minutes. We'll say 13:30 in the comment section. All right. All right. That's Crockett 36 sharing with you the turn one of America and